All right, Karen, what can I help you with today?
So with We'll Change You, we're now getting really good leads with our Google AdWords campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm wanting to know, though, is we're getting really good candidates. They're wanting to join We'll Change You. And when it comes to the crunch, their finance isn't getting over the line. So I'm wanting to know, should we as a company maybe waive the franchise fee and maybe try and get some vendor finance to help them over the line?
Yeah, very good question. Why don't you just give a plug to the internet and give us the 15 seconds on your franchise and a website that people can go to?
What we're about?
Yep, so give us in 15 seconds what your franchise does and give us a URL that people can go and check out.
Okay, so We'll Change You, we're basically a mobile tyre shop. So instead of, so we cater for businesses, for mums and dads, for all residential cars, but instead of, say, if you, for instance, wanted 2 or 4 new car tyres on your car, instead of you going to a tyre shop, sitting down, waiting a couple of hours, our guys actually go to you in a van, all fitted out. The vans are signed, ready to go for a franchisee, and they do everything fit, balance, on site. So it's great for businesses because there's no downtime for the fleet.
Love it. What's the web address that people can go and check out?
www.we'llchangeyou.com.au.
Y-O-U or U?
No, the letter U.
Okay, cool. Very good. All right. So here's my answer to your question. I just wanted you to have a plug to the big wide web.
Sure.
I don't like the idea of waiving the fee. I think that's a bad idea because if there's no hurt money, that's why franchises work. When there's hurt money up front, it incentivizes people to treat it seriously when they get in, right? People don't value what they don't pay for. So if you lower the bar really low, you will get people join your franchise, and you will get people that don't do anything when they join your franchise, or they'll do the absolute minimum and frustrate the heck out of you. And at that point, you would rather not have them than have them. So we just need to be smarter. Yeah. Now, I'm like definitely no on waiving the fee. Are you able, like, how much? What is this fee? Give me the approximate amount that it costs somebody to get started.
It's $25,000 for the fee.
Yep.
And then everything else ready to drive away. We've got it down to about $108,000, and then that's plus the 25 fee.
Okay, so we're talking about just over $130K to get started.
Yeah, for everything.
And that's truck, machine. Is that any stock involved?
It's no stock, but stock's never a problem. They can just order that as they go along, and we train them and help them with all of that. But it's the signage, the fit out, the tools, the jacks, absolutely everything. There's nothing else to spend rather than a little bit of stock as they go along.
I like it. Now, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't do it without the truck and you can't do it without the equipment. So, $108,000, they've got to be able to come up with that, right? Or finance it at least. Yeah. So when you're getting these candidates and they're saying they can't move forward, is it the $25,000 that's stopping them? Is it the $108,000, or is it all of that combined?
No, it's normally the 108.
Okay, good. I mean, ultimately, in time, what you'll be able to get is you'll be able to go to one of the major banks, prove to them that your franchisees make good money, and they will probably agree to finance a large portion of the franchise, right? That you could, over time, when you have the track record, you'll be able to go to them and say, hey, listen, this is what a typical franchise has. Would you happily finance people into starting this business? Okay, so you'll be able to get that down the line.
That's what they're saying. It's just getting to that point.
Yes. So I mean, in the early times, let's put it this way: if somebody comes to you and says, "Well, I've got $10,000," there's just a really bad qualified lead, right?
Yeah.
Because if you take their 10 grand and give them, and you go and finance to get them started, so you vendor finance, by you financing, you give it to them, vendor finance, I reckon that's a recipe for disaster, because the number's too far between the 10 grand they've got and the 108 grand it's going to cost you to get them started. Like you run the risk of fully falling on your face with that model. So all that is a case of, you saying, okay, you've got 10 grand, you need to either, right, go and borrow the rest or go and save up a whole bunch more. So stay in your job for another 12 months, save a heap and come back to me. Right, so you might be able, like, let's say your candidates come in as A, B, and C. A means they've got the money and they want to make a decision. They're great. They're the ones you can deal with right away. B is they've got some of the money and you need to work out a plan with them to, work with them over 12 months to get the money to come back. C is a candidate that's got 10 grand, no ability to borrow. You're going to have to send them away. Like every business has unqualified candidates or prospects, we should call them. So those people you can't do anything about. If your marketing is producing, 95% of bad candidates, or C's as we just called them, then you really need to look at the marketing, because it's drawing the wrong crowd. If you can bring in 10 prospects, 2 are A's, 2 are B's, and 6 are C's, you can grow a business on that, because you just work with the 2 out of 10 and don't worry about the 6 out of 10, right? Just let them go through to the keeper. I like the idea of you vendor financing a small portion of it. So you could vendor finance, for example, 20 of the 25 grand franchise fee. So because they've still got to put up the hurt money to buy the truck and get the tools and get the jack and get the signage, right? So they're very committed if they're paying 108. If they've got 108 but they don't have 25, I think that would be somebody that I would look at to help them get into the deal. So I would take the 25 grand they owe me and I would say, give me 1K a month for 2 years, for example, right? As a finance, I'll finance your franchise fee, you pay me back over 24 months, something like that.
Yeah.
Or you could scale it. They start by paying $500 a month. And then at the end of the time, they pay $1,500 a month, and therefore you get your money, right? Yeah. You could negotiate that however you wanted to do that. But so definitely not waive it, which was your question. Definitely we would like to finance it, but it's not going to be a major bank unless they can go and draw it out of their home loan or they've got the money. So, okay, so here's the summary. No to waiving, yes to vendor financing or financing if you can. But ultimately, you probably just need to attract 3 times as many candidates to get 3 times as many A candidates that can move ahead right away.
Yeah.
And the B candidates who are good but can't move ahead now, right? They're the ones that you need to stay in contact with and work with them over 6 to 12 to 18 months so that they can get in a position to slot straight in to picking up a franchise.
Yeah. Cool. And there's a couple of those that I am in contact with now. Good. That's the way I would handle it. If you're getting a spread now of A, B, and C's, the way you grow your business is to double your marketing, get twice as many leads, which will still be A, B, C's, and then just work with the A's. Pick the cream straight off the top. And then work with the B's and cut out the C's. Every business has prospects who are not qualified.